If you look from a distance, if you've been looking from a distance at what's been happening recently at Manchester United in terms of the type of coaching, the type of decisions about which manager, the way in which certain players haven't improved, and there is, look, I'll state my position. My position is that's a squad which maybe might not win the title, but that's a squad that should be, in my humble opinion, should be competing for the title. And you can see team flaws, you can see decision-making flaws, you can see players who have lost confidence, and the majority of them, 85-90% of the squad are playing under par. So the question from our sponsors is, what's your view on the current Manchester United managerial situation? And do you consider that one day you'd want to manage that club?
Yeah, I would love to manage that club. That's an open question, I think. But yeah, the thing is always, do you get an opportunity or be an assistant over there? Could be also, because, and I think that's good for every coach and every maybe former player thinks that as well, that you can contribute to something to to help them out. So I would love to work at United in some role as well, to help out the team or players or youth or whatever, because I think I can add something to that. If we're looking to the team, because that there's always a lot of people always have their opinions, about the club, about players, and I think that's a lot of it is sometimes true, sometimes it's not in what's being said. If we talk about the squad, do they have quality? I think yes. I think there's a lot of quality in that squad. Do they have players over there that I think they're not good enough for the team? Yeah, I also do think so. Do I name names? No, because they're going to pick these names out. But
that's not what we're here for.
No, but you know where I'm. How it goes. But I think if you're looking at this squad in the quality, what's in the team, in the squad, I think you need to get a lot more out of it. In how you want to play, in being dominant on the ball. The thing I just don't understand with these plays that they're having is that why even against the so-called smaller teams within the league, even these teams sometimes are dominating and United is sitting back and waiting and just like playing on the counter-attack. Sometimes you need to risk things as well, but if you want to play dominant, you need to know how to play dominant. So you need to put your players also in position, and you need to ask certain things from them, to play in a dominant way. It's always easy to say, yeah, but we haven't got the players for it, or they're not used to it, whatever. I think they can do. The only thing is that I find it very important that you also need to have the manager that's good enough to do that as well, who sees that as well. And I think is that the choice for the manager? Is that the right one? For like making the choice for an interim manager like Ranjik at the moment. I think I found it a strange one, to be honest, because I think as United, if you want to have a manager, if you're thinking, okay, I want to have Pochettino or Ten Hag or I don't know what's his name from Leicester, Brendan Rodgers, whatever, that you can just you put the money on the table maybe and you just buy the manager that you want. I can also understand that certain teams think, yeah, but we don't want to lose the manager yet. But if they can do it with players, then they also should do it with a manager in the way of playing. The only thing is that also from the owner's point of view, who's running the joint, who's like saying, okay, this is what we want. This is our philosophy. This is what we want to do. This is what we want to achieve. Yeah, you want to achieve good things in winning trophies, but you also need to have a good idea by winning trophies, and you also need to have an understanding of football and what's being asked as a club, I think, in what type of manager you're looking for, how's the structure of the club, how's the scouting, the recruitment of the club and bringing players in, the type of players, what you're looking for, and then making, of course, the right decisions in doing this.
Does it feel that most of those areas you've named are a little under par at the moment, and that contributes to the overall situation?
That's always a difficult thing. What I find if you're looking at it from the outside, but I think if you're looking at it, then it looks like all these levels are not good enough in building the club to a certain level in your way of football. But if you're talking about we want to play attacking, dominant football, we want to go forward, then at first you need to have a coach who's playing like this. You need to have a general manager or a technical director, how do you want to call it, above him, who thinks in the same way.
Yeah.
But you also need to have people who have knowledge of football and know then what type of players, if you're looking at the philosophy of playing, you need in your system and how to play, so you can get the right players. They've got certain ability, quality that fit into your philosophy of playing. That means that for every individual position on the pitch, you've got how you call it, information, you've got data, you've got like written out. These are the individual qualities of the player that we're looking for. No, and if you can't find them, then you need to, like, how do you say it? Say, okay, you know, if you can't find the ideal player, you're always going to say, okay, we're going to be like cutting it down, or you say, okay, we're going to take this out. Maybe then we can get this.
Find the best solution.
Find the best, yeah, exactly.
Find the best solution. The wrong player.
Yeah.
Accept that you aren't getting the 9.5 out of 10 and all the criteria that you've used to apply.
Because like an example, quick example, I think is if you buy a lot of money, if you buy Bissaka, or if you buy Harry Maguire, there's a lot going on about these players. You know, these boys cannot. It's not their fault that the clubs are asking a lot of money and it's been paid for them. Okay, you cannot think these players are being brought in. They know everything. They can do everything.
The price doesn't make you the finished article.
No, it's not, because you need to develop as a player.
So you were the world's most expensive defender. Were you the finished article when you reached Old Trafford?
No, by far, I wasn't.
Every player that we've listened to subsequently says that there was a culture, that there was a hard group of players who taught the standards. And I'm talking daily, hourly, decision-making, attitudes, behaviour, timekeeping. We sat down for a really good big interview with Michael Carrick quite a long time ago now, where he talked about the pressure about being in the box, the small box, or the bigger box for the new guys. And he was still there. You go in the bigger box because you knew, fuck that, I'm in there. I don't care if it's Keane Scholes pinging at me. I'm competing from. When you go there, what's the atmosphere, the demands that you meet every day, every hour, every week?
Well, at first we were at the Cliff.
Sorry.
In the beginning, and then for a year, my first season over there, and then we went to Carrington. But when I came to the Cliff, it was like, is it special? It wasn't special. I think the Cliff, where I came from, PSV, the difference in clubs is huge. United is here, PSV is over here. If you're looking at the training ground, PSV's training ground at the time was here, and the Cliff was there. If you're looking at the building, facilities and everything. But it's not all about facilities, of course, and that make you a big and a better player. It's about your I think the players that you're working with, your training sessions, the coaches, the sessions in what you're doing, and in what we needed to do. How you stood ground for yourself as well, in the training sessions and also in the games. But when I went to the Cliff, it was like, you arrive, you have some breakfast, you go into the dressing room, you get changed, you go out on the pitch, you start the session. Not long sessions with Fergie or with Kiddo in the beginning, and later Steve coming in, an hour 15. Maybe, but the sessions that we did, the drills that we did, were always intense. Not intense by the coaches telling us, oh, hey, you need to run faster or you need to do more. No, intense of if we play a possession game, if we play a game, or we had a passing drill, or we had like even a smaller box and you need to go into the middle. Intense in terms of players pushing each other and getting the best out of each other as well, and setting the standards high for each other, so everybody is every time in training sessions, and that automatically goes to the games. You're on your toes, so you want to do well. You don't want to be the joker every time. Everybody was having that feeling that you want to do well. You want to show yourself in training sessions as well. And then for an hour, and then we enjoyed ourselves. We did our job well, and then afterwards, you're having treatment, something to eat, and then you go home and spend some time with the family.
When you say it like that, it just sounds right, but it sounds to the outside people who either are naive or haven't spent a lot of time in football. Well, every training ground should be like that. Every professional should be self-demanding, pushing his teammates.
Yeah, but that's not the issue. That's not the case, and then I think what's very important, because before we were speaking a little bit about managers and the tactical part of the managers and what they're doing, and that's and I have always said it. That's one of the strongest things that Fergie has as well. I think is in building a team, in looking for the right characters with the players. Within the players for his team. So eventually, and of course with ability. Without a doubt, with ability and quality, but also looking for the character, and that's why Martin Ferguson's brother, he scouted me, I think, for over a season. He's seen basically all my games, even the bad games. It's not like, okay, he's a scout and he's looking at you and he sees you play 2 bad games, we're not going to take him because you play bad. No, they also looked for the personality of myself and also the other players.
How do you cope with a bad game?
How do you cope with a bad game? Because that's maybe even more important than a good one.
It sure is.
How's his mentality? Is he going to walk around like this with his head like down and then thinking, okay, that's me and that's I had it this game up to the next one? Or is that player doing everything in his power, to get out in a certain way, so he still has a good game, or he's still improving, or he's still trying to win that game?
You come back from a scouting trip going, look, he got monstered 10 days ago. Look at him now. Mm-hmm. That's our guy.
Yeah.
Because he's back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what they're looking for, and that's how you build a team